Boys, easy on what we're talking about right now, because now we're live.
What?
That's all right.
It's fine. We were talking about searching conspiracies in incognito mode.
Yeah.
Everyone searched a conspiracy with a stepmom before. It's
Alien space moms from Mars.
Yeah. Surprised this isn't a stepmom conspiracy episode.
The internet's flooded with stepmom conspiracies.
I don't understand the family stuff. I know it's a step parent, but still, it's fucking weird.
It is weird.
What are you guys up to with that shit?
Yeah.
Can we come up with some different titles for conspiracies?
I don't know. Well, can we go back to like shitty like movie remake conspiracies? Those were the
right? Yeah, that's what I liked.
Yeah, those were great.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean conspiracy?
Yeah.
Were there also like kind of funny to watch?
Yeah, the Seinfeld one was
there's
hilarious.
a comedic value in those conspiracies.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of conspiracies, you guys ever heard of Operation Highjump?
Fucking love it, dude.
Crazy.
I love high jump. I love high jump.
Have we ever?
Have I ever?
I don't think we've ever talked about it before.
No,
No, dude. It's been like 10 years since we talked.
It's actually been 10 years since we talked about this.
I didn't. I wasn't on it. I had to learn all about this for the first time.
It was actually the very first Dan. It was the first time Dan was on the show. The OG show was Operation Highjump.
Yep.
I forgot about that. I just went and I was like, I wonder what our show sounded like on original Highjump. And there was Dan.
Yeah.
First time ever on Southeast Asian alien correspondent, Dan.
Yeah. Operation Highjump. 1947, United States launches its largest expedition to the frozen continent of Antarctica. And we have this, these swirling theories about Operation Highjump and this huge undertaking of the United States Navy post World War II starts. Operation Highjump kind of starts in 1938, all the way to 40. Spans a couple years, 1940 out to 48. Yeah, almost a decade. If we look at it from the beginning of New Schwabenland up until Admiral Byrd's expedition. So you have this fleet of 13 ships, almost 5,000 Navy personnel, aircraft, different, all kinds of support ships, all of these things coming down to Antarctica for, ostensibly
for science.
What they said, yeah, training. They say training, logistics, science. These reasons are what it's given to justify this huge, what they said, Navy training exercise, and also, I guess it would be a show of force against the Soviet Union. The Cold War has already started, began 1945 is what the kind of agreed upon date for the start of the Cold War. And so you have these ships going down there. They're supposed to be down there for 2 months. They're supposed to be down there for
6 months, I think.
Or 6 months. Yeah. They're supposed to be down there for 6 months, and they're only there for 2. They, for some reason, this entire fleet has to turn back. And the all of this stuff from these things, as you have all the rumors that they found something down there. It wasn't necessarily that they had to cut this short because of what the public is made aware of. It was too cold. We underestimated the difficulty of operating in sub-zero Arctic temperatures, but there was Antarctic.
And sorry to interrupt, Dan, but it makes total sense why rumors would be swirling around this, right? It's. Like you said, it's early Cold War. It's fucking early stages post World War II, right? This is and we're starting to kind of get into a little bit more exciting stuff with UFOs and stuff like that. It's just prime timing for people to jump to conspiracies when they see something like this happen.
Well, and I mean too, if you just look at the massive size of
the magnitude,
it's 4,700, almost 5,000 military personnel for science.
Well, they got
go down there. They've got an aircraft carrier.
I thought they had 2 aircraft carriers.
They have combat ready aircrafts, ready to go. A lot of the stuff they're bringing down is combat ready. And this is for this is to do some mapping and some studies of Antarctica and the region, right? And like people look at this and just the magnitude of it, they're like, you have all these Navy guys, you're like, all right, boys, suit up. We're teaching you science. We're going down there. And
well, if you can fucking
that's a lot.
teach
That's
oil
a lot of
driggers become
waste.
astronauts, you can for sure train fucking Navy men to be scientists.
Yeah, Navy SEALs to be scientists.
Yeah.
I got a note here of 33 aircraft, 4,700 soldiers, and 13 ships, including at least one aircraft carrier. The details in the case are a little scrambled, but 13 ships going down to study some ice and some emperor penguins.
Something in that magnitude, you immediately think that these guys are going to fucking war.
That included submarines as well. Like they had submersibles as well operating in this thing. The given reasons as to why they went down there. It's not just for science, but this was they were to try and experiment with a lot of like the newer technologies that they were going to have to use. And, you know, they were predicting that they were going to have to use if they went to war, if the U.S. went to war with Russia, and we're going to have to operate in these type of conditions. Like we were going to be fighting over the Arctic. Go down to the Antarctic is the only place that you can really train without kind of setting off, the whole
an actual war.
An actual war.
It's the last unexplored region, really.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of that too as well. So it was an opportunity to go and map out parts of Antarctica that had not been fully mapped yet. Some of the coastlines and some of the interior of Antarctica. There was also, they also established Little America 4 base down there as well. Some of the
real
things
original, hey? Like, first of all, just little version of where you're from, and you've come up with that idea three other times.
One.
That's what I mean. It's like, what the fuck? It's stupid. Come up with something cooler than that.
At least they stick to their guns.
It's just easier that way. We don't have to remember a bunch of names. It's just Little America.
The rest of the world is actually just Little America. They just don't know it yet.
He's like, that's German America. We got Canada America above us. The interesting thing that I find about this is that when looking into this case and for what they're saying they're gonna go do and the mapping and stuff, in comparison, a decade earlier, the Nazis were there with an 87-man crew in one ship doing the same thing and got a lot of.
They were getting whale oil for fucking margarine or some shit.
And but that's the size difference discrepancy. But they did map some of the coast, so you're like, well, that's interesting that the States is you need 87. We're gonna blow that number out of the water. The other thing is that we said about the beginning is that instantly intrigues me. I don't believe this was just a science mission. They're wrap it up. Is that it how quickly they turn around. They're they cite bad weather, but it's some reports that they incurred heavy losses on this of ships, of personnel, some estimates that I read up to 1,000 people.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Gone.
That's crazy.
Right. That was an extreme
number that's thrown out there. Yeah, I feel like that's
an extreme side. It's from hundreds. It's from hundreds, but the max number I read is 1,000 people got
the official
quarter of your ships.
Right.
That's funny. That's half the population of Little America.
Little America 4.
That's what is it? The official number that they put out there is what they had 3 losses, 3 actual personnel losses. Was
that the dudes in that plane crash?
Yeah, one was the plane crash. I think 2 might have died from there, but most of the guys but people survived that plane crash as well.
Yep.
Or was said, but 1,000 is that's a little difficult. That's a lot of families that you'd have to notify. Being somehow we lost 1,000 guys down there in Antarctica.
It's 1,000 personnel killed or injured. I should clarify. Wild. That's the biggest number.
Let's say 1,000 victims.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of Nazi flying saucers.
Well,
amongst other things.
And that's
theories.
Mecha Hitler.
And that's where I'm kind of going with the losses is some of these things are some of the combat ready jets they lost, right?
Well,
so how do you
so we all know Like this is a fact. This is a real military operation. Everyone
100%.
we know that. We know we're just post World War II. We know during World War II, the Nazis were leaps and bounds ahead in aircraft. They had the jet going, and if it wouldn't have been for the dropping of the bomb and the eventual defeat, they would have probably taken over the world. Like they were right
if
there.
they didn't go into Russia, there's a good chance they win that
Oh
one.
yeah, we'd be all dressed super sleek
We'd be
right now in some
speaking like
evil,
this, yeah.
evil uniforms.
Oh,
And some
Canada.
other stuff that's an absolute fact is even before World War II, because they knew World War, they're probably getting into it. They're anticipating it. The Germans had already been down there, New Schwabenland, they call it, and they are trying to set up bases. So,
base
they
211.
Yeah.
Right.
Base 211. And we're not going to get too much into that today, but Braden and Dan did do an ATT Confidential on Patreon on that. But so we know for sure this is a real military operation. We know for sure that the Germans had been down there multiple times.
Yes.
We know that they had this tech, and then, the Nazi advanced tech conspiracies start running rampant. Like they had the Nazi bell, and they had all this stuff
The Glocke.
right on the cusp of putting into the war, and then it was over. But then the theory that goes then, a lot in Argentina was a known Nazi sympathizer. A lot of people went down south. Argentina is not far from south or from Antarctica, and that's where the theories start to take root.
Supposedly Argentina, like I just was reading about this, had a large German population pre-World War II.
I've read that too, so
Yeah.
that's probably why it was.
Yeah. A lot
Friendly.
of South American countries actually had European, besides Spanish and Portuguese for Brazil, but like a lot of them did have like smaller European country, like more European communities, like than you probably
I don't blame
think
them.
going
Yeah,
back in history.
it is cold here. It's cold.
Well, the interesting thing about that is if you've gone down the conspiracy route, a lot of people say it's like weird to be like in Argentina and then, very South American everywhere. And then you'll just pop out to this like perfect German village.
Little
in the
Germany
hills, and you're
4.
like- and you're just, little Germany 4. And it's shocking, right? Like you're just like, it's so weird that there's now this like an established community that looks nothing like the rest of the country. Now, there was also like reports near the end of the war in like 45 of like U-boats,
Yeah.
going to Argentina, right? And then them actually getting collected, like the occupants of those U-boats getting collected by the Allies and questioned, right? And released, which I will never understand because they are Nazis.
Well, we
And
need
it is the end
astronauts.
of
We
the
need
war.
people to work at NASA.
Right. But they're just released back in Argentina. Like, all right, we asked you questions and they're like, we got nothing. It was like, they didn't
Show us the papers.
They didn't answer. The official report is they didn't give anything in interrogation. I was like, okay, but did they commit war crimes?
Maybe
or
they
anything?
just
we don't know.
they just
We don't know.
fit in right away. They're like, oh, maybe we don't know. Maybe these guys already live here. We already have fucking
Right.
40 Germans living in this little village.
But you look into that, like they're interrogated, and then within a year, you have the state scrambling for science to come up with this giant science mission to go back to Antarctica and go down there. Part of me wonders, I'm like, did these Nazis that were in these U-boats give the Allies information that led them to believe that Nazis were down there, or they had something in Antarctica that they were like, we need to be battle ready? Because the 4,700 military personnel, 13 shifts that are combat ready. Like a lot of that stuff is combat ready to go for science. Like it's like, it doesn't make sense. But if you look at it in the sense that like maybe they got tipped off by these U-boats that fled to Argentina, that there was something there. Now all of a sudden you're like, okay, well maybe they're prepared that there might be something there.
Well, I mean, like they were
Post-war
working.
stuff, yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
working with them already at this point, though, with Operation Paperclip. So you think they'd
Yeah.
already have that information from the scientists, being like, "This is where we got it for." Whether it's alien technology or ancient civilization technology that they would have discovered while setting up base at 211. But like you said, we know that the Germans had already been there for New Schwabenland. Was that it?
Schwabenland.
New Schwabenland.
Or else they called it something else too, didn't they?
It's
New
right.
Birchbagen
Yeah.
or something like that.
So we know that they were already there collecting their
Nailed
oil,
it.
their oil and whatnot. But at the same time, there are talks of like, remember when we talked about this a while ago, But the Annenerbra, remember them? Like the kind of Himmler's scientific / occult, SS organization that he had set up. But they've sent them to Antarctica previously, right? And oh man, what the hell's it called? What the old Ottoman map, the Perry Reese map, right? So they have that
Antarctica without ice.
Yeah, and it shows like the perfect coastline of Antarctica without ice. And a lot of people speculate that like that's where they got, that was actually the home of Atlantis, which could have been an advanced civilization, which explains why the Nazis went there in the first place, because the Annenerbra, these were the same guys. These are basically the Nazis from Indiana Jones, were out looking for Mjolnir and, the Ark of the Covenant and whatnot.
All the crazy, like outlandish weapons, right?
Totally.
The one thing that I will say on the like that Nazi front, one last thing that's interesting in the when we're in the context of looking at Operation Highjump, what happened is like you said, Andrew, the Nazis were there. They did some New Schwabenland and stuff, and very similar to Operation Highjump, they turned and boogied back home. Like something, the official narrative is the war broke out and they were like, hey, we have to get back. But if you look at the mission and what the Nazis were supposed to be doing in Antarctica, it's like they abruptly stopped too and headed back for Germany. And that makes me think of like, well, maybe there was something more to these. There was some sort of discovery made there that would pique the interest. Because again, I just can't get over the fact of when you're like, this is like such a huge scientific mission. If that's what you're going with, you're like, what do you need a fucking F-15 or whatever they flew in World War II for science? Like we're gonna see what the missiles do when we fucking shoot them in the ice. Yeah. Like to me, it's like it's overkill. Really,
well, I mean, it's overkill in a way, but if you really look into it more, a little deeper, so they're going there for pretty much because these are the last two places on Earth, the Arctic and Antarctic, that haven't really been claimed and exploited for resources. So they're thinking. Yeah, they're thinking like, okay, we're going to test out our long distance radio communication, like over horizon radio, and how do our air operations, how do they do over ice? All that kind of stuff, kind of like setting up an advanced like military force in order to exploit these places for resources. So you're like, oh, okay, sure. But yeah, after 2 months, you're fucking hightailing it out of there.
It was like Zell's saying, it's like it was more, it's not just about science. It was a logistical exercise. It was like 13 ships. I mean, people don't realize sometimes that it's like an aircraft carrier. It never goes by itself. It has like 6 or 7 ships that go with it. Like you have your destroyers, you have your whatever, you have your destroyers, you have your support ships, you have your freighters, whatever. Most of these things, you'd have your refueling ships. Some of these ships.
What ship did you work on? Sorry,
I worked on the USS Blue Ridge.
What kind of ship is that though?
It's a communications platform ship.
But so that would be one of the ships probably in the Armada or what?
Not that one. I think that class of ship, like they don't make them anymore, but they those were like in the 60s and stuff that mainly for like coordinating communications, like facilitating communications in the fleet, like fleet wide. So
Dan just giving up state secrets.
Right. You can look it up on that stuff. You can look on Wikipedia. So I'm like, that's all you can pretty much pull. The ship was like, and the ship is so old. Like it's one of my ship was the oldest commissioned ship besides the USS Constitution, which is the sail ship parked in Boston. Like it's an old boat. Nothing really secret about it. But yeah, so like as far as like 13 ships, like being a large amount of ships, it's like I don't. If of those 13, I don't know if that includes also like you need icebreakers out there. For sure. There's some accounts, and we might have mentioned it, but it's like you can watch the official documentary. What is it? The Secret Land or whatever that they made while they were down there. They made an entire documentary on the expedition itself. It's like from the 40s. Like, yeah, there's some accounts actually that like they had icebreakers out there that needed to go out and move these ships. And it was like, there's one account of like a U-boat getting stuck and they actually had to use another ship to like push it out, which doesn't surprise me. Like it's being down there. It's like, you think Antarctica is just cold, but it's cold and wind and like constant wind
and nothing, barren wasteland.
Yeah.
So I guess Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say really quick, like you're talking about like logistic stuff. And then, and obviously we just entered, the Cold War with Russia. So possibly we're thinking like we might need to prepare to go to war with Russia. And I'm wondering if maybe the harsh climate, right, can kind of mimic Russia. Obviously Russia's not as cold, but you got to think at some point, like the Americans would have been wise to why the Germans failed, right? They failed getting spread too thin, going into Russia, freezing to death, all that type of stuff. So I'm wondering if that's like, fuck, that's not going to happen to us. We're going to be prepared if we do have to put boots on the ground in Russia.
I mean, they probably should have just came to Canada to do it then.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
they could have just, a little easier.
A little easier.
The one
gave him
argument
some
that I would
poutine.
say of like, okay, well, maybe this was out of an abundance of caution, because like I think about World War II and like, what was that, like that one island where the Japanese like didn't know they had surrendered for like years after the war? You guys hear about that? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, there was at least a couple of those where they had,
Like they were at
personnel
war
there.
with
Yeah, they thought like
the
1 or
States.
6 months, 8 months after the war had ended or something.
Yeah,
or
and
a
people are like
year.
trying to go. They're like, "Whoa, you surrendered." They're like, "We didn't." Right? Like, I wonder if it's one of those things that it's like they're like, okay, well, maybe we have all these reports of U-boats fleeing to Argentina. Should we be cautious that there is still some U-boats out there that maybe aren't friendly and would cause an issue? You know what I mean?
Maybe
Like,
there's an entire base.
yeah,
Base 211.
yeah.
I mean, it would have been rough for a U-boat to operate that long after the end of the war. Like having a U-boat, like it had to maintain an entire fleet of those ships. It's just being like, it's hard for me to conceive.
Dude, submarines at that era before like they went like with like a nuclear power. Ridiculous how much it was just like run on like diesel generators. They had to charge batteries so they could dive under the water for like 40 minutes, and that's all they got. And then they'd come back up. Like, what
They couldn't even go down that
crazy boat.
far either.
No.
They couldn't even go down really that far. Their operational depths were really not that deep. And these ships and like Andrew's saying that, yeah, operating in those cold weathers is like, this was pre, ICBM technology, when eventually it's going to be like, we don't need ships in the Arctic because we're just going to be launching missiles at each other. Like a full-flown naval invasion of the Arctic or fighting in the Arctic with ships would have been incredibly difficult. And as they found out, because it's like cold weather on ships and planes, like, you're constantly having to be out there, chipping away ice. Like, I'm sure it takes a mental toll too, because you're just like, you got to suit up every time you want to go you got to go topside on your boat, and you're like just chipping off ice off the planes to make sure they don't explode when they take off.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
And then they were like, what was it? That one plane crash we did mention. That was one of the recorded casualties. Is like they said that like they were flying in a blizzard, like while they were doing, I guess they were doing surveying, and I guess they had an unusual amount of fuel on there for what it was.
It's a weird way to say they were shot down by an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's. Yeah, operating out of those.
We
those
crashed
things
because we had too much fuel.
The thing is like if the Nazis did have a base down there, and Braden and I kind of discussed this on the Confidential, but it's like, yeah, you would definitely need a type of advanced technology to keep your shit running. You would need some kind of, whether you're powering your base, and your Nazi robot suits, and your Hanubu was it 4, 5s? The flying saucers. It would be something like that. One of the things that I found really interesting was the actual, because I think Andrew mentioned this before, not just Atlantis, but the hollow earth theory seems to overlap a little bit into this. There's an actual, there's a document that's been circulating for a while. I put it in the notes. There's a little link in the notes in there, but it's like an actual, it's a document that is the kind of like, it's claimed to be like the procedures or the protocols for Nazi U-boats to access the entry into Agartha, which is a as far as we know, a mythical city within the center of the earth.
Inner
Earth. Yeah. Or it could have been just what the Nazis called their base, which would be a pretty tight name for a underground base.
The
Doesn't sound
Nazis,
foreboding enough. Like the Nazis have such a good way of coming up with fucking gangster names.
yeah.
The Glocka.
Yeah, man.
I mean, okay,
Legendary name, yeah.
that's a perfect segue into because one of the main people in the story is Admiral Richard Byrd.
Rear Admiral, Zell.
Rear Admiral?
Come on.
Yeah.
My
Some
bad.
respect on it.
Fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
Put some
Like the most
respect on-
decorated Navyman in the history of America.
And I guess he was he not? Like,
Second
did
to
he not-
Dan, maybe.
Did he
Yeah,
not
second
have
to
like a whole like chest full of medals? That this guy was like the real deal.
No, he was like, I wasn't joking. He's like the most decorated Navy man of all time.
So this is kind of where the story takes a little turn here. So upon retreating from their mission, Operation Highjump, I guess he gives an interview in Chile, and he's like, pretty much says that. Where's the note here? I had it.
Basically a warning.
He said, what did he say? He said, what the next war might be fought against aircraft that can travel from pole to pole at incredible speeds. And then people are like, what? So is he just anticipating the future, or is that part of the battle that was fought, which caused him to retreat against possibly like some type of alien craft, inner Earth, advanced society, flying saucer, something that ran on propulsion completely different than we knew?
I mean, the Nazis did have they had their special. He worked on all their special projects. Hans Kammler, and he came up with the Ju 390, which was one of the fastest and most and could travel the furthest distances planes, right at the end of the war. And so the Nazis did have capabilities of traveling, further than the current technologies. And what's interesting about this Hans Kammler guy is right at the end of World War II went no one could find him. He was unaccounted for, and so was his plane. And there was only two in existence. And you think about it, you're like, you need advanced technology to run a base, right? Or you need to fucking ship everything in constantly, and you need planes that can travel over long distances. And maybe Hans Kammler was utilizing that Ju 390.
It's interesting too, because
like that.
On that topic, Annie Jacobson has a book, Area 51. It's phenomenal read if you like conspiracy stuff. But one of her things is that the Russians, when during Operation Paperclip and stuff, when we were grabbing the rocket guys, the Soviets did the same thing, but they were grabbing
Operation
propulsion
Osavayakin.
Yeah, and they were grabbing propulsion guys, right, and aircraft guys. And there's these fabled twins who had all these designs out of Germany. They went missing, never to be seen from again after the war. And it's kind of theorized that the Russians kind of snagged all these guys up and a lot of their plane tech. So it's they kind of had some pretty wild ideas for futuristic aerospace designs that we've never seen before, and just that never saw the light of day. So is it possible that because again, when you look at this case before everything we're getting into now, you can chalk it up to oh yeah, it's this or that. But when you look at Operation Highjump as a precursor, and then you look at all these other branches that go into different aspects of the conspiracy world, it starts to paint a bigger picture to me. And this is Admiral Byrd giving this warning is one of them, with the losses, and then him all of a sudden stating hey, we're going to there's going to be a new threat of enemy aircraft that can go pole to pole at insane speeds. Because if you look at, one of our other favorite guys, Bob Lazar, and what he says, and his accounts of working at Area 51, he says they've recovered some crafts, and they've also, in that throwaway comment in the Rogan interview, he says they've dug some up,
Excavated some.
And then
no one else asked any questions about it.
Yeah, it's insane.
And we're all like, what the fuck?
But part of me wonders if he's saying this because they've recovered something. Right? Maybe they were in some sort of aerial assault with something. Whether that thing was, because we had the Foo Fighters in World War II and different other things. But is it possible that they were having run-ins with, some kind of flying saucer, and they took heavy losses trying to catch these things in blizzards, and these things are flying, if they're transmediums going in and out of the water. They have no luck, but they get one or they find one. And they bring it back. So now it's like, that's kind of where my brain goes with Admiral Byrd giving this warning is like, I'm like, that's someone who's seen something.
Well,
Right,
when
like-
a guy with that many medals and that much authority speaks, you listen. Like, what happened? If he's the best of the best and his fucking armada gets taken down and has to retreat in 2 months.
Yeah, that's got to be warning. They were supposed to be there for 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right? Like, think about how much that would cost to move all that shit there, and then have to be like in a month, be like, gotta fucking pull the chute.
and that's one of the reasons that was given that why they did come back early is because they were like, this is too expensive. I mean,
well,
as
then
far
leave
as
half from there, maybe.
Well, like, yeah, like American bureaucracy or politics, it was like even that time, like they were already calling it out. They're like, this is just a waste of money. Like you didn't need to send that many personnel down
Scientists.
there. Well, it's like most of the ships, like Braden said, these were combat ready ships. But yeah, these are a lot of ships that hadn't been, might have actually been scheduled for decommission within the recent future from that date. Because it's like, yeah, the United States had pretty much, we were standing down from being at war, and you don't need such a large fleet. So some of these ships were probably going to be heading for mothballs. But yeah, it's like that was one of the reasons, official reasons stating that they came back so early was that, yeah, it's too expensive. Also February, like they hit February and it was getting way colder than they had anticipated. Like, I guess
Yeah, because
It's
like
getting colder
February's-
than cold.
That's their summer, right? Because it doesn't
Yeah.
get winter there till like June or July.
yeah. And I mean, they're saying it was getting colder
Admiral
earlier.
Byrd's like, what do you mean? This is as warm as it gets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're calling it.
and it's like,
Get
for
me the
it's
White
like-
House.
Yeah, we get down there and we're like, wait, like everybody's got like, they just weren't, they weren't prepared for how cold it was going to be. And nobody really had been down there for long periods of time operating on ships. Most of the times it's like you establish a base, like the most efficient way to get around down there was like dog sleds. It's like that was like the preferred way to like get around. It's like the easiest way. And then you're trying to operate like complicated machinery down there and like planes and stuff that, even though they are, tough warplanes, they're still like pieces of machinery that is like, it's highly susceptible to being frozen and just being like, this freaking sucks. And it's like everywhere that you go, I can imagine that you're just worried about your ship hitting an iceberg or just being like having to get through ice to get anywhere.
Well, I mean, just a quick point on like the cold of the time. So they've gone in summer. Obviously, you could never go in winter. Your ships wouldn't make it. So they're in February. They're peak summer of Antarctica. So the sun. I mean, I don't know how.
They got
Exactly
23 minutes of sunlight.
No matter where they are, the sun at the most, you get no darkness at all, and at the least, the sun's like barely dipping over the horizon. So it's not like it's that if it's middle of winter Antarctica, it makes sense. You're like, okay, we're going to go to Antarctica. We're going to see how we can brave the cold for going to Russia or whatever the scenario.
That's a good point.
How well does our equipment work in the cold? But in the summer, I mean, I'm sure it's getting cold, but it's not minus 70 or something. Like, it's not crazy Antarctica.
Like, it's not Russian winter.
No, it's not. You're in the winter there. Like summer in the Arctic and Antarctica. I mean, it's especially like where they are, like near the coast and stuff. That sea ice breaks apart, lots of icebergs and whatever. But the actual like coldness, it's not like frigid, bitter cold, I would imagine. It's probably it's probably still freezing more or less here or there, but it's not it's not freezing your ship solid.
So the argument of that like falls flat for you if they're training for like Russian combat.
Well, I mean the ice though, like
you could do that up here. You could do that in Canada.
That's what I mean. So
You
but
do that
then
in Alaska.
like, I understand that we're allies, but at the same time, you have to like inform another country of what you're doing.
Not Canada.
Right? Like
you walk all over us up here.
No, not back then. We were badass back then.
It's true.
Now we're pussies.
We were punching above our weight back then. Now we're bending over the fence.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Proudly
Yeah.
presenting ass.
Yeah, we got
You
our
guys are high
elbows.
on war crimes from World War I still.
Fucking right, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Hey, per capita, Canada has the most war
What's the
crimes.
problem is you guys forgot about our war crimes, Dan.
Yeah,
Not afraid to do it.
So did we.
Yeah, we should.
yeah. buddy, we go for the nuts, eyes, nuts, soft spots, whatever.
Neck.
Oh yeah.
Neck. Yeah.
Adam's apple crush.
Geneva who?
But that's who's Geneva? We don't even know who that is.
Geneva what?
That's not the only thing about Admiral Byrd, though, right, Zell? Like, there's other things about him and his accounts of that makes this interesting.
Well, he had a journal, didn't he?
So Admiral Byrd did leave a journal. And in that journal, so goes the tale, is he talked about as he was flying over the pole that the weather seemed to change and the ice seemed to give way to rock and then to grass. And all of a sudden, by God, that's a mammoth. And he is entered like a different realm as he flew over the pole. And people interpret that of saying he must have entered the Hollow Earth. Like he fucking went in.
There's
an
a
inner
vent
sun.
right from the core of the Earth.
He somehow didn't realize where he was going. His instruments weren't working now, and now he just flew into it. Didn't even notice. And it gets even crazier. He lands at one, or not lands. At one time, he's approached by like advanced aircraft that kind of like surround his wings and like guide him down and force him to land. And he meets, we don't know if they're alien. They meets a species that's not human. And they start to talk to him about how humans are not ready for atomic power and atomic weapons. And we have to change our ways. And they've tried to help us in the past, but they were shot at during the war and it wasn't safe. We're putting all our trust in you, Admiral Byrd.
Oddly enough, these saucers also had swastikas on them, supposedly.
Engraved swastikas on the hull.
Well, I mean, the first off, on that point, so I love how you manned it up a little bit and called it a journal, because everywhere online you read it says diary.
It's a journal, right? It's a satchel.
I was like, that's a gay thing.
Admiral Byrd carried a journal and a satchel, not a purse.
Diary. Dear diary, today I met some new friends. Like like when I read that, I'm just like, okay, all right. It doesn't make any sense. I was like, 40s of like, were men carrying diaries? Doubtful. But then I started thinking it from a military standpoint. I'm like, I mean, I wonder if it's something like law enforcement where they kept notebooks, right? Like where they kept logs and notes of
captain's
each and every
logs.
day, right? Captain's logs.
We're at
right? Like why?
Well, I think this is his personal one. This one, like, I mean, Admiral Byrd is like, we said he is the most decorated thing, but he decorated, military record, but he also has a, exploration record under his belt. Like he was one of the first people to fly over the poles and stuff.
That's right.
Like,
He's a fucking pioneer of journaling.
And that diary,
the first diary before it was only for women. He bridged the gap.
And that journal or diary was passed. Like that was recovered from his effects. Like I can't remember what the whole story behind it. Like was it a family member who got it? Like
his son. His son, after his death, was passed a journal, and this journal contained all this stuff, and it was
years from this mission.
A son who also mysteriously passed away right after exposing this journal.
Did he really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
He's looking it up.
I haven't. It's already done.
Did I just make a wild claim?
No, I'm fucking serious.
He read it somewhere.
He's like, I saw a meme that said, showed the diary.
2 minutes here. Okay, Richard Evelyn Byrd III died in 1988. Byrd III.
Oh my God, man.
Died in 1988. His body was found in a vacant warehouse, and the medical examiner reported malnutrition and dehydration as a cause of death.
He was
tortured in a fucking warehouse
and starved.
That's weird. Like, what else did he have? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe what other information did he get left?
They wanted him to recount everything from the journals and be like, you made it up. Tell him it was fucking fake. And they waterboarded him and starved him.
Hey, I mean, you tell the truth, man. You get off.
It's interesting to he passes away so soon after releasing these diaries. But like it is like when you look at that and you're like, hey, he has these private diaries where he describes these things, and then in like if you pair that with his like warning, you're like, okay, maybe this guy did see some shit. That's why he's writing this stuff. As for Zell, you said the saucers had insignia on them. Part of me has always wondered is if the Nazis were the first ones to make contact with, if this is another species, another inhabitants of Earth that lives in the Hollow Earth or whatever. I wonder if it's something like the Nazis met them first and were like, "You need to help us. We're at war, and we need your assistance to win the war." And they're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, right? You're first people to come in. We're friends now." And then the Americans came, we fought them for a little bit, and then we broke bread, and they're like, "Ooh, the Nazis are bad." They're trying to scrape off the insignias. They're like, "Ooh," right? We didn't know. They were the first ones we met. So we heard their first story
the
first.
Aliens just put a swastika on their craft because they're like, these guys are cool.
Yeah, das ist cool. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I think the Nazis gave when in Predator, when the Predator fucking teams up with the human and he gives her the mark. You know what I mean? That's what the Nazis were doing. Yeah, this is what we got for you.
A lot of people forget. The Nazis adopted the swastika. It wasn't. They didn't create it, right? It's all the way
they changed it, didn't they?
Yeah, the way the angle is and the way they flipped it over. It's different.
For all we know, they got it from there.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I was implying.
To me, with your theory
from them,
that's what I mean. Because you think about it, instead of them joining up with this race, I like to think more so of discovering abandoned technology and reverse engineering it, making their own. And that's why bringing that Hans Kammler guy, right? You bring them in there and then you start utilizing whatever they find, because yes, this was an ancient advanced civilization, possibly, Atlantis, and they got the Atlantis. Because didn't they believe, wasn't it the Thule Society that had found, a lot of the members were founding members of the Nazi Party, and they believed that there was an Aryan race and that was Atlantis?
Something like that, pretty much.
I'm mashing a bunch of fucking shit together.
No, I mean
that's what they did.
They went on the fact that this Aryan race was their race that they thought was the best because there was Atlantis or something like that, a different species that existed here before, or maybe was still from
Atlantis
here,
or Hyperborea,
Hyperborea and Lemuria and all this ancient stuff, ancient war. They said there was Atlantis versus Lemuria and Hyperborea and all these crazy stuff, and they said that these Aryans reached out to them and said here's the torch, boys. Fucking go for it, I guess. That's what they thought. They're all right, well, they had white skin, so
you think they'd go to Sweden or something, right?
Yeah, way more white and blonde.
Everybody looks like they're in ABBA.
The other thing is too, I'm when I'm looking at this case and I'm thinking about it, I'm you look at the timeline of events in this 46, 47, they hightail it back. They come back. So you have Admiral Byrd's warning, his diaries that he wrote, maybe something happened. And then what kicks off in 47? The most famous UFO flaps of all time. You have Kenneth Arnold, you have Roswell, right? You have some of the biggest cases in UFOlogy happen almost immediately after Operation Highjump returns. And then to make things weirder for me, again, it's you kind of have to magnify the scope of Operation Highjump. 1948, they signed treaties to not go. They're hey, listen.
Oh yeah, that's the craziest part about this.
Hey, listen. Hey, boys, let's get all the countries together. All right, no one's going to Antarctica. All right,
too cold.
Deal.
Too cold. I don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Nobody can go there.
None of us, all right? Everyone signed, everyone good, everyone's yeah, all right, all good. And they signed the fucking, what is it, the Antarctic Treaty in August 1948, that it's placed under the guardianship of the United Nations, and it be administered by a group of claimant nations. And no one, does anything solo over it, and it's highly regulated. And you're when you look at if you just look at all these things separately, it doesn't really seem too weird to me. But when I look at all these things in conjunction of looking at Operation Highjump and what it kicks off, I'm going did these motherfuckers actually find something in Antarctica? Because the timeline of events makes me feel they found something. UFOs were coming to the United States because they recovered something. That's what I think. That's what I feel is that they recovered something. All of a sudden, there's this huge UFO flap of them trying to either come back. Like it's like ants when you kill an ant, and then all the ants come looking for their fucking dead ant buddy. Right?
Or it's just them.
I love it.
Piloting, like we're using the technology that we got there, reverse engineering, and that's we're testing it out.
Let's dig into it. So here it is. Put it together. So first, the Germans get down there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back a little bit. Hold that thought.
Okay.
It was the Thule Society. It was what gave rise to the Nazi Party in the end. It was like that was the next thing.
The inner circle of that.
Yeah, but it was the Vril Society. Which is like the legend, the occult side of the Nazi Party, which was founded before the war and stuff. And they said that they were like a group of mediums who would channel beings from a different place. And there was here, I had the note here somewhere, the Aldebaran from a different star system. And they could harness what called like the Vril energy, and the Vril energy what gave rise to the craft and the stuff. So if we go with that, maybe they knew of this. So in Antarctica, there is a frozen craft from a different civilization, from Atlantis, let's say, some prior civilization that
right next to a few pyramids, some other structures.
Can maybe make pyramids and stuff. Exactly. Right. And that for whatever reason, they are extinct, but their technology lives. And during their excavations down there, the Germans found a craft and they started reverse engineering, and they were getting it. And then at the end of the war, paperclip happens. Some of the Germans, they don't defect; they're forcibly brought over, pretty much. But they spill the beans like, oh yeah, the secret's down there. Operation Highjump, flying saucers. It all makes sense like that. Like that was the prior civilization. We'll do a revisit on the Younger Dryas at one other time.
Holy! I saw your mic bump up there when you said that.
Anyways, so that makes so much sense. So you start reverse engineering or just. If they're frozen, maybe when you freeze something, I mean, you preserve it, right? So maybe they're still working. You fucking heat it up. It's metal that doesn't rust. It's some super advanced alloys and stuff. You heat it up. You get on the ship in the hangar. You crouch in there because the people are 3 feet, 4 feet tall, and it like reads your brain and it just comes alive. And all of a sudden they figure it out.
Yeah, all of a sudden your dogs are turning into weird aliens and like screaming at you, and you gotta set them on fire, and just like people's heads are crawling around on the ceiling, and just like not fun.
But it's like Braden said, because right after that,
like, we gotta turn around.
It's Kenneth Arnold sees those first UFOs, and then it's Roswell, and then it's like bingo, bango, bongo, all these fucking events right in a row immediately around this time.
Yeah, and then it's like you look like so Roswell. Obviously, they think they recovered crafts and beings, and then it's like 48. They all decide, hey, we're not going back to we shouldn't make claims on Antarctica. It should be a group thing, and you're kind of like it's just a weird timeline of events. So I kind of subscribe to the fact that they found something there, whether or not it was running, and because I have a hard time believing that they would have fucking dusted anything. Like I think even if we look at the like recent UFO like flaps like of today, where it's like that one that got hit with a Hellfire missile that just got released, that footage, and it's just like ding, like nothing, like no big deal. Like I just have a hard time believing that like tech from then would have taken something down. So I do believe they got heavy losses. Like Dan was saying, it's like this is a fucking difficult mission. They're breaking ice, shit's breaking, none of this works. But I think they went down there to recover something that the Nazis had originally found. And then when they recover it, and like Zell said, you get it back, you start turning things on. I think it starts sending signals, right? And then things are coming. The flap starts because they're like, "Hey, this turned on." Like
it's Alien versus Predator.
It's sending a fucking distress
signals to the Nazi moon base.
Well, it makes sense why they would like you. If you found something like that, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, well, we're here for another 6 months, so let's just fucking keep looking."
Yeah, you'd
like,
be
no,
like,
we found this. Secure the fucking goods. GTFO. Gotta get the fuck out of there, right?
But then when you in the context of like say they do find a saucer and they're bringing a saucer back, and then that presser in Chile where he's like, there's going to be crafts that can fly pole to pole. It's like, because he's fucking got one. He's seen it.
He knows.
He's got this thing fucking in the back. Do I believe his little diary that he fucking flew and they all flew beside him? I mean, it does have some hallmarks of it. Fuck no, dude. The guy was playing around with sci-fi. Fake. He was bored as fuck. There was no TV back then on the boats. He was just bored as hell, probably making up stories.
We have to.
We don't even think it's him.
There. We know that the diary is
false.
I mean, he had a diary and he did explain his polar navigation and stuff in the North Pole, but the diary that we're talking about is kind of like they just take some of that stuff, they turn it around and they add in the mammoths and the aliens. There's no actual, like, no one ever found that book. That's not a real book, unfortunately. I wish it was.
I think the whole thing is like they got down. Why they left early is because they got down there and they underestimated the efficiency of BJ Blazkowicz. He'd already taken out Castle Wolfenstein, and he got down there. He's like, I don't need 6 months. I need 4 weeks. Clear him out. He got in there, blew shit out of it. He's like, we can go home. We're done.
Well, okay, I got half the reference because I remember Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I had to put that next to you guys wouldn't get it.
It's if I mean, that's the other point is like maybe there was like a Nazi holdout there, like in Antarctica, like they, maybe there was a base, and what they were doing was like this would make more sense actually now that I'm thinking about it. If there was a Nazi base 211, right, which is theorized, it's like they found something and they were working on excavating, even to this day, like. After the war, there was a crew there that their job was they were trying to pull this stuff out of the ice. So then when the fucking U.S. rolls up
to win the war, get this
right, yeah, they're like even it's over. They're like, no, we're like this is important. What we find here could change everything, even though we've lost and we're getting messages that we've given up. Like if we pull this stuff out, like it could change everything. It doesn't matter. And like USA rolls in. And, maybe they do have a little battle, and then they take this research facility and then be like, hey, there's something partially excavated. We're going to pull it out of the ice and turn and burn, like, and get back. Because, like, they lose the amount of, like, aircrafts that are reported losses and, like, the reported, if you look at the high end, I mean, the high end's insane, 1,000 people. But it's like, something obviously more than just the cold got them, because again, like Zell said, this is summer there. It's not I mean, it's not like fucking they weren't wearing t-shirts on the deck, but
it might have been.
It's not.
It's warm. But yeah, I agree. It's just like it's the cold is not, I think, is the least of your problems. It's probably
it's the Nazis there waiting for you.
It's the Nazis.
Well, like
alien versus predator.
Like we know that the Nazis were more interested. Like they were interested more than just the fucking whale oil or whatever, right? Like we know that the Anna had a special interest in Antarctica. Himmler sent them all across the world looking for stuff. I don't know why he would stop at Antarctica, right? Like they were in the desert. The desert can be just as fucking treacherous for other reasons, right? So I fully believe that they, like the Anna didn't find, the Holy Grail. They didn't find Milner. They didn't find, I think Spear they found Destiny. Something. They didn't find the Spirit of Destiny. I think they found something in Antarctica.
Found a craft.
They found something. Well, it just
again,
like it ties into that fucking
starts everything.
Well, the like that could be Atlantis. We have no idea how thick is the ice there. What there have been people
thick.
Well, and there's people that have seen, like, you look at the topography and stuff, and they're like, that looks like a structure. That looks like that could be a pyramid. Like they're very well. Are there not like pyramids on every single continent other than Antarctica that we know of?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Like so,
at least pyramidal mounds on every continent for sure.
Occam's razor. There's fucking.
Dude, and on that note, actually, there. Because with his name Charles Hapgood, he's the guy who way back proposed a crustal displacement theory, where like the rapid shifting of the crust would just trigger, like, because right now on Earth we know like the crust of the Earth, the actual like landmass is mainly on the one side, and then the Pacific Ocean is kilometers deep, and it's so the Earth is slightly unbalanced, you would say, as it spins. And his theory was every once in a while, for whatever reason, because the crust is floating on molten rock, the crust would like do a quick shift, and then it would plunge the world into chaos, because if you're all of a sudden you're 8 degrees north or whatever from where you were, And we do know, I mean, and a lot of people have debunked that theory. That's never happened, obviously, so it's hard to really understand if that does happen. But we do know for some reason, mammoths in the Arctic tundra have been flash frozen with food in their mouth. Dead, frozen solid.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
It's crazy.
And no one really knows what happened to that. That's like, oh, it must have been like a volcanic eruption, dropped the temperature.
Tomorrow scenario. It's
yeah, but like,
Jake Gyllenhaal and
but we know like that has
polar
happened.
Bomb,
like,
ice bomb.
Yeah, like a flash freezing for whatever. Like these animals just die with food in their mouth somehow.
Like chewing.
So if you go with the theory of like Atlantis, let's say, some hyper advanced place, and maybe it was Antarctica, and maybe Antarctica was shifted a bit, and then the whole it slipped out, and all of a sudden that's all frozen solid and flash frozen. So all that technology and it's all under the ice now. I've heard that theory presented a bunch of times. I'm like, well, who knows? Because I mean, it happened to mammoths. Maybe it's got maybe some fucking little alien greys, which was like the evolution of humans. It wasn't even humans. It was like a new like hominid, like a branch that had fucking got away from or something. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Bigfoot and the Yetis are the remaining of them.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's why the Yeti lives in the Himalayas. Like that's where the Ant and Nurba were hanging out. Like they went in there studying the.
Charles Hapgood, in his book about crustal displacement, was endorsed by Albert Einstein.
Here we go.
Hey, Einstein,
smart guy.
right? He's a smart guy.
Yeah. It's interesting. I like that theory. I like that something
that
like,
the Yetis are.
You know that
the aliens.
I like that. I really like that theory.
No, just the fact that it's like, I mean, who are we to say that there could, like, it's such a big landmass. It's such a big landmass that's unexplored. And you have like, you think about like, we've just discovered like Gulbekki Tepe. We're finding stuff under the pyramids right now. It's like, we're finding so much new stuff right now to say that like, there can't be anything on this fucking giant ball of ice, even though there's fucking ancient texts and maps with it with no ice. You know, like to say that there's nothing
the coastline,
there.
no ice.
The coastline, right? You're like, it's such a weird thing that, you know, it's a weird unknown that like at this day and age, we still know so little about what's under the ice in Antarctica.
Like how far can you penetrate the ice? Like is legit kilometers thick. Like it's fucking crazy.
Like how does that work with LiDAR? Does that like fuck it up? I don't know. I don't know enough about
what did they use for the pyramids of Giza? Was that LiDAR?
Ground penetrating LiDAR?
It was a type of radar.
I wonder if they use that in Antarctica.
Didn't they use that gluon one or two or whatever? That
I can't remember.
One something. That was the one
they used synthetic aperture radar. That's what. So SAR. So it's very similar to LiDAR, but I guess it can penetrate the ground deeper. So they say. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Braden nailed it. I mean, we're just starting to find some of this stuff because we have technology to find it. Now they're mapping like the Amazon, and they're like millions of people lived here. Millions.
Like pyramids everywhere. That tree there, that's like pyramid.
It's crazy, man.
The jungle's a crazy spot too, because in 20 years the jungle will take over an entire city. Like it's just gone. Like it's buried in trees and growth.
Well, it'll just like cover over stuff because it's like what is it, like Tenochtitlan, and those places, like those were covered over in decades. Yeah, like it was like completely covered in dirt. When you excavate these pyramids, like they're just big mounds like covered in dirt when you see where they originally found them, and then they're like 20 years later after they finish it, it's like, yeah, you know, you can actually see the pyramid.
Chichen Itza and Teotihuacan and those like the Mexican pyramids, just looked like hills with trees on them, and then someone like started digging and hit a stone. They're like, oh, what's that? And then like, oh shit, it's a fucking amazing piece of architecture here.
I have no doubt in my mind that if you start utilizing this technology just about anywhere on Earth, you're going to uncover stuff. Because like, you know, the jungle in 20 years, but like anywhere, like even the Sahara, those sand dunes fucking move, right? And it's like, you know, given a space of time, like who knows what's buried under the fucking sand, right? Like the wind blows it, it slowly like drifts. So it's like
the whales, dude. You heard, you know, the whales in the desert. No. So there's just whale bones strewn across the desert.
It's fucking insane.
So it used to be an ocean of some kind.
So you're telling me there's
sandworms?
Are you telling me there's giant eagles that are lifting up whales?
I'm I'm not. I say no to no theories anymore. I'm fucking all in.
Sandworms for sure.
Could be.
That's interesting because like that would make sense. That kind of sounds like would be like an ocean bed.
Well, again, we go back to Atlantis. They say like the eye of the Sahara was Atlantis as well. That's a big theory.
The Rickott structure.
Is it? Yeah, the Rickott structure. It's like, is it Plato's fucking map? Somebody's map puts Atlantis.
Well, Plato is the one
Sahara.
who is like the only like historical record of a place called Atlantis 9,000 years before he was alive. So that's like 12,000 years ago or something.
Crazy.
I mean, who knows about that? But I mean, we'll get into another time. But also the sea levels. Right now, like 80% of the world's population is within like 200 feet of the sea level. So, and sea levels have rose 500 feet in the last 10,000 years. So 80% of our civilization would be underwater if that happened again.
It's crazy.
Like all the most major cities are either on the coast or on like a river delta, like the mouth, and that would all flood. It would be gone.
And then like salt water is really good with preserving stuff, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea actually. Is it better or worse?
No, I'm pretty sure it just eats everything.
Yeah. Unless it's super cold.
Yeah.
It's extremely cold.
I mean, stone though, if you had stone structure, wouldn't matter.
Yeah, then it would
be covered in
stay,
barnacles and coral and
I guess like our current way of building things isn't built to last.
concrete's porous. It'd eventually break apart and who knows?
Steel would rust.
Anyways, in the end, Operation Highjump is obviously was a fucking real operation. The Admiral Byrd stuff in the Hollow Earth and stuff is potentially fabricated for modern enjoyment. But all the other stuff, like all the UFOs and
Nazis
stuff.
were working with the Yetis.
We know this now. The Yetis were the builders of Atlantis. Makes sense.
Just the time. I mean, look at the timeline of events. You look at the timeline of events for yourself of like broaden the scope from Operation Highjump. Look at the UFO. Like if you like UFOs, it all fucking kicks off. Everything you love about UFOs kicks off right after Operation Highjump.
And
right?
The one thing we know for sure is the government lies. So whatever reasons they told you that they were going, bullshit.
Well, at this time, I'm not too sure, but as the Cold War progresses, the lies start fucking flying. They are crazy. Now we'll get to more of that. But that's it for this week. On this episode, we're going to take a break. If you're watching live, we're going to go to the new style of show, Unhinged, where we take calls, texts, talk about whatever we want. If you got a question about high jump, want to make fun of Braden,
you got a theory.
You got a theory, you call in. But for now, we're going to take a short break. We'll catch you guys on Unhinged. We'll be right back.
You got to be out of your goddamn mind to believe that those fucking 4,700 people were going down there for something. That doesn't make no fucking way, dude. It doesn't make sense. They got tipped off. They got tipped off by those U-boats hitting Argentina.
They wanted to be the first. They wanted to beat the Russians there. They had to.
Yes, dude. And they were like, and I guarantee you they went with force because they were like, if the Russians are on their way too, we're going to be fighting to get this shit.
Yep.
Whatever's there.
Without a doubt.
It kicked off the arms race.
Yeah.
Irish Potato said I left my sex doll out. That's my haunted doll. It's Blueface.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah.
Look at this thing.
No one can see it. Oh, actually, they can. They can.
I can't see it.
Because we don't have the full on the stream. We have the full widescreen. That's definitely your sex doll. That's disgusting. Oh my God.
Cool. Why is it dripping?
Man, what's wrong?
Dude, no, this makes way more sense now because the Nazis, like Himmler sent his Himalayan expedition in April 38, spring of 38. The first German, the New Schwabenland went down there in the end of that year, towards the end of that year. Like, so the Nazis go to the Himalayas. They find out that the Yetis are the secret Atlanteans. They hear about this stuff. They send the ships down there to Antarctica, and that's where the Yetis live.
That makes sense.
They're perfect. They're perfectly fit. Like they're adapted to that weather, so they would make sense that they're down there. And then the Nazis are hanging out with Nazi Yetis. Like
we also got Evan B in the chat said, I heard Highjump was supposedly split in two, and they were after a base on Thule Island. Did you guys hear about that? I didn't even know about Thule Island.
There's a lot of weird little islands that they went to. Like one of the islands in Operation Tabern or something was like Deception Island is what it was called. But
it sounds like a fucking reality show where you cheat on your significant others.
I think Thule Island might predate.
That's where you go there with your married and you're like, we're just gonna try out dating other married couples.
Okay, well, Thule Island.
I promise we'll be stronger after this. Dude, those shows are the best. Those are my favorite.
That one that destroyed, it was all over Twitter for like a week, where it's just that poor guy's fucking old lady's getting pounded. And he's like sitting there watching and just running down the beach, fucking scream crying.
Temptation Island. Temptation Island, but it was like Portuguese or something.
Del,
and they've showed this guy.
The craziest thing I've ever seen.
He's watching his girl get pounded?
No.
Yes.
Del. Like blanket on top and like
just fucking destroying her.
Pound Town. And he's sitting there like watching it on a screen with like the other contestant guys and I was like, gets down on his knees, rips open his shirt and like starts screaming in Spanish and then takes off sprinting down the beach while there's like, it's pitch black and there's like lightning in the background. It's fucking crazy.
Because he's like, fuck, I can't do that.
Then she did it again. And the same thing happened
to him
again.
later.
Well, yeah, and you know what?
Except for he gave himself a massive wedgie or something this time. While he saw it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Why don't you just move on? It's over, bro. That girl sucks.
He does. He gets. I had to find out what happened at the end, and he gets her at the end.
If she's doing it live on camera, you know she's doing it before.
And the chick the dude that she was cheating on him with or whatever, he has to decide if he wants to be with her at the end, and he said no.
Say, fuck that. I already
and
fucked
just wanted everybody just all of the world was just giving her the fucking DX suck it as soon as it did that. I was like, yes.
Okay, I want to go back to the Thule Island because Thule Island is an island. It's actually only at, what's the longitude here? 59 degrees south and 27 west. So it's not that south. It's actually not far off the south coast. It's like Patagonia almost. So that's like northern BC. That's not that south. So that's livable right there. Thule Island.
How far is Rapa Nui from Antarctica?
Pretty far.
Rapa Nui is off the west coast of Peru, isn't it? Yeah. That's pretty far up. Rapa Nui is just below the equator.
Rapa Nui, that's with all the statues?
Easter Island.
Yeah. Easter Island, yeah.
That's the real name for it. I've watched the documentary.
Oh, that's where fancy boy.
But that's where the hole in the middle of Earth comes out from Antarctica.
Well, I'm just saying, when you look at
the tunnel system.
Yeah, I watched Godzilla. I know. I watched the new Godzilla movie.
Well, I mean, look, if you look at a map, everything in the south, is pretty much look at this map. Look at this map I'm about to share on the screen. Look at this. It's all close to.
Yeah, it's all south.
Look at this. It's all close to Easter Island.
Everything's close.
You just go south. You're at Easter Island.
Look at the size of Antarctica. Antarctica's huge, dude.
It's insane. It's all touching, right? The thing for me is we're talking about like ancient civilizations and stuff, I look at that fucking island now with so much more interest of being like, that island is there was something there. That was a factory. They were building stuff there to take them somewhere else. It doesn't make sense. And so when I look at a global faring civilization, I think Rapa Nui holds a lot more secrets than we give it credit to. And if you look at the proximity, I mean, I'm making a stretch here, but you could say, because they do say that there's an archipelago, right? Going from Easter Island. Is that what it's called? Archipelago.
Yeah.
Into Chile, where the fucking, what are those big hieroglyphs?
Dude, we did this on an old case file. Is if you there's a website, I don't have it right now, but you can drain the world's ocean, then you can see what the land looks like.
Yeah.
And there is like it would be a bunch of islands within like an easy, like you could almost swim between them all the way up for like 1,000 kilometers to Rapa Nui from the coast.
No
like a
way.
big fucking thing.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
crazy.
Right. And then it's like, and then when you get there, like the first thing, when you follow it, the first one is like one of those huge petroglyphs on the hill, like showing almost like directions.
Like this
And
is
so
this is the land here. Go
this
that
is the
way.
land. And so like if you go like south, right, and you go south, like if you follow just the coastline, then you could make a jump. And if you said like if the crust shifts, or maybe stuff was a little closer back then, before this like deep freeze or something. It's interesting, man. I think there's a lot of secrets hidden in Antarctica that unfortunately I hope will be uncovered in our lifetime, but I think it holds a lot of secrets.
All right, we got Irish Potato sending in that there was a helicopter called the Flying Penguin during Operation Highjump that flew 128 times. I didn't even know they had helicopters at this time. Is that real, or is this AI fuck this up for you?
What's it called?
They call it the Flying Penguin, and it was a U.S. Coast Guard.
Doesn't make sense. Penguins don't
Helicopter?
fly. He's fucking with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I
Is this
think
the one that
helicopters-
crashed?
He's fucking with us.
He said he sent me a screenshot as AI, Google AI. So AI is wrong. I didn't know they had helicopters in 47.
Yeah, they were shitty ones, but they had helicopters.
something.
Yeah, they were already experimenting with helicopters to be like, I think towards the end of World War II, because they just weren't there yet. Like, yeah.
I don't know if his AI is just throwing up stuff, because I'm seeing headlines from like April this year that says an unsecured penguin is blamed for a helicopter crash on Byrd Island.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's an oxymoron though, isn't it? To cancel each other out, a flying penguin.
Flying
Yeah,
Penguin.
there's no way
it doesn't.
you would
It's
call
bullshit.
your helicopter.
They fly in the water.
Now the penguin does have a helicopter. I've seen it.
Yes, he does.
Thank you.
Fucking pengu.
Yeah. It's a bird. He's got to have but yeah, he does.
Dan. Yeah. Well,
Is that the only thing on Antarctica that we know of is penguins?
A penguin.
That's it?
I'm pretty sure the only thing that lives on the land in Antarctica is the emperor penguin. That's it. That's the only species that lives on land. Maybe like a seal will jump onto land here and there, but I think it's just penguins, man. What a fucking...
And they're like
terrible place.
landlocked. They're like definitely landlocked to there. Like they don't migrate outside of, like they were there all along.
Must have
They're
been.
remnants.
They're the Atlanteans.
What about mammoths? Remember Admiral Byrd's mammoth?
Yeah, Matt. Well, I mean, maybe.
Well, so the Hollow Earth thing is obviously like we haven't been there. No one's sent me back a video of the Hollow Earth, but what I do think could happen, especially in like Antarctica and stuff,
There's seals on Antarctica too.
because we know there's like there's lakes and stuff that have formed because of like geothermal vents and stuff, and they have life. And so under the ice, like geothermal vents could have the water at a temperature that would breed life. So if you could somehow harness that geothermal power, you could maybe make a civilization there currently, if you could figure that out, I guess. But
Still, okay. I think it was like still kind of, Braden and I talked about like the logistics of like establishing like a frozen base down there. At least like a military, if you had to run a military facility, they had that one base in Greenland that we were talking about that was the first. Well, it was the one they first experimented with having like a basically a mini nuclear reactor. Like they were gonna be like you would run it off of this like portable nuclear reactor, and they're like ran it for I don't know as months or years, like a couple of years, and they're like this sucks. It's like the constant freezing, refreezing of this stuff. Having the maintenance is like off the charts. You're just like this is way too difficult to maintain.
I mean, you would need that you need to put that under the ice where the temperature doesn't change. Then you could live there. But if you're on the surface, like just the...
But you're still like in, like you would still like even the facilities like surrounded by ice, just the climate control for the people like living there would still...
Oh, you'd be
present some
constantly
challenge.
fighting.
No,
Constantly fighting.
that's what I mean.
I
If
think.
you could build a structure under the ice where the temperature didn't change, it's doable. But then now what do you have to get under there? You have to need that map with the submarines to get under the ice,
Right.
to come up into a cavern with solid bedrock that you could build a little structure and have an air vent up. It's logistics are insane. Tough one.
Building a secret underground, like a sub base, just like having all the like the facilities to care for an entire, not just one submarine, but a fleet of submarines. Yeah, that is wild. To think about. That'd be a huge base. gigantic.
I see what Irish Potato is saying. He's saying that there's a 100, like, so in 8 weeks, this helicopter flew 128 times, like making like landing on the land and obviously shuttling back and forth the ship. Like, is this something
doing?
There's no such thing as a
shuttling
fucking flying
workers.
penguin. It's fake. It's not real.
Is this thing shuttling workers or shuttling back material to these ships? Like that is 128 flights is a lot of flights in 8 weeks. What's the math on that, Dan? Quick in your head.
121 gigawatts.
Hands up. Put your hands in front of your face.
Dude, you see the helicopters from the fucking 1940s? Like
They're flying
nothing.
Lego blocks or something.
It's basically, it's like just a box with a helicopter. It's like they're not carrying stuff and they're not ferrying things because that thing is like not enough lift on there.
When you break down the math too, in 8 weeks, it's like it's just over 2 flights a day. So it's like, that's what that is, like bringing people on land, do some stuff, and fly them back. And tomorrow do the same thing. Right? So it's like, is it the smoking gun? Like, no, I don't think so. It's, you could chalk that up as research, but what were the other fucking 4,670 guys doing?
Playing cards.
Playing cards in the ship.
Shooting at UFOs.
They're playing the game Battleship. That's what when those guys crash landed, that's what kept them entertained. Salvo or something like that. I forget what. There's like a old Navy style battleship game. Random factoid.
Like before the battleship game?
Yeah. It's like a game that they were playing it to keep themselves occupied because that after they crash landed, obviously 2 of them died, but their survivors weren't found for like an obscene amount of time. So it's crazy that they
did they start eating each other?
Maybe that's why 2 of them died.
Have you guys seen that?
Braden gets eaten first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll fucking fry
I got
you
the
up.
most meat on my bones.
Yeah, it's a big ribeye. It's marvelous.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like a fucking, what are those really fatty steaks?
I figured it'd be like a beef Wellington. Just
Wagyu beef where it's just all fat.
Yeah.
Just marbled.
Expensive.
It's
All
very
marbled,
expensive.
baby. Yeah. Did you guys see that fucking Venom symbiote shit that guy allegedly found? Have you guys seen that online?
Nope.
So this guy, I don't know if it's in Panama where it is. He found it was kind of going off on Twitter. I forgot to mention it. So he finds this there's a video and he sees a fucking meteorite, and in true Zell fashion, this guy like goes and fucking investigates it, and he finds like a smoldering ground, whatever, and there's like a fucking rock.
And he finds a symbiote. This is so full of fucking shit. It's insane.
He brings this rock home, and he's like, he has it in like a petri dish, and he's just has it sitting, and it starts sprouting like black sprouts, like a fucking plant. And then it's getting bigger and bigger as the days go on. It's been like day 7 of like people like questioning if this is real on like TikTok and Twitter.
100% not real.
He has this thing in a fucking safe now, and he's talking another language. Let me find it. This is what he has. I'll see if I can find it here. Get it big. This is what it looks like today, and I'll show you guys after what it looked like. So he has it in this safe that he put it in now. And it's like, it like moves and it pulsates as it's been growing. You see it moving?
No fucking way.
Oh, that's real for sure.
Yeah,
right? And then I'll show you what it started with.
Why don't we make one of these viral videos? How do we do this?
Ray's got to talk to more guys with toilet seats on there.
Just make something up.
Right. And then this was the meteorite that he found. And he videos the whole thing.
Did he eat a piece?
Well, probably good that he did.
Potato.
That's a fucking potato.
It's a potato.
Literally a potato.
Doesn't even look like
Potato
it weighs
rock.
a lot. He's moving with a little.
Right. And then, this guy and then it just slowly keeps growing, and it's on like day 7, and it's like,
Guy loves the animated Spider-Man, the animated series while he's growing up.
it's pretty
Literally
good.
the
I'm just saying
storyline.
his symbiote looks good. Like he has one of it's in a jar, and it's like reaching and stuff, like from the little potato, and you're like, oh, it's gonna like, it's good. If this is a big hoax and he's like, I'm just gonna put money into making this fucking like well thought out hoax. But I'm kind of curious. It's been growing every day, boys. I've been on fucking symbiote watch ever since I saw it. I'll keep you guys posted. The likely outcome is he dies if it's real. But like I've been seeing that that's been popping up nonstop. That's online. People been like, "Is this real? Is this guy legit? What the fuck does he have here? It looks so fucking weird." Maybe he should hand it over to some actual scientists.
I hope it just turns into venom. I mean, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what he's holding out for. I mean, wouldn't you?
More like the thing. Like
Dude,
the real symbiote.
That was,
it's like, does nobody watch that movie? I was like, if I had some weird goop thing in the thing, I'd be like, no, I don't want this to turn it into some weird
I'm just gonna
alien
keep
dog.
it safe in my home.
I don't want Kurt Russell coming over to my house with a flamethrower and like setting all my stuff on fire. Like,
yeah. Zell's been blaming the shot for his lipoma or whatever, but he's the only one here that's fucking ate a meteorite.
It was that meteorite I ate in 2009.
It's growing through your lymph nodes there, buddy.
When I think back about that at that time, I'm pretty sure I just ate a piece of concrete, to be honest. It was that was a big deal though. The fucking university came out, like meteorites that actually hit the earth are rare. So like,
dude,
destroyed this person's roof of a house, went through the floor and cratered the concrete. It was
That's crazy.
It was insane. I was first on the scene. It was like that morning, got to work at 7 a.m. and they're like,
how many people you're probably like with in that are first on the scene of like a meteorite crash? Like 0.0001. Like you're probably so rare of like that of someone who's been the first on the scene of a meteorite.
I don't remember what his name was, but he was like a professor at the universities of astronomy, and because we called the news, they're like, you won't believe, I don't know what the fuck happened. And then this guy came out, he's like, yep, he took a bunch of samples, I ate a piece. And then we never heard anything else. This guy's roof was destroyed, like a big fucking hole through the floor and a huge crater in his concrete. We had to patch it. It was a whole ordeal.
Did you tell the guy? Did you be like, I ate a little bit?
I didn't tell anyone, I don't think, at the time.
You should have. That would have been so funny. The guy be like, you should go to the doctor.
Like, that might be radioactive.
Hey, you don't know what you ate. No power says you're melting from the inside out.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I ate a piece of concrete because I don't think there's anything left of the actual rock. It was just concrete, but who knows?
What, probably just blew apart on impact. Like
vaporized, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what in the end. Who knows what it was? It could have been a fucking something from an explosion that fucking launched up and came through the roof. No idea. Never heard more about it, but because they were doing a lot of blasting in the area, so it made maybe like a rock went flying through the roof. But
I don't think it would have come with that much impact, though.
It was a lot of impact. It was a huge crater.
Yeah,
not huge, but it cratered the concrete.
Yeah, I don't think like a blast rock would have done that. From like a downward trajectory. You know what I mean? Like
just gravity free fall. It might have went through the roof, maybe, but
not all the floors to get to the basement.
I still hope one day gives me something, but that was 16 years ago now.
Cancer. So.
I had a big scare here, so it could have been it. I had to make sure my will was in order. I was fucking for sure. I was like, I fucking got some fucking lymphoma, cancer. I got something going on here. I'm fine. It's no big deal. You can cancel your life insurance policies. You won't get nothing. You're wasting your money. I'm going to live till I'm 99 at least.
Do you think, think four of us, someone breaks 100?
No chance.
Not me. Maybe
we
Dan.
didn't take care of ourselves well enough growing up. I think we've already knocked about 10 years off the lifespan. Dan might, because Dan, well, actually, no, fucking Dan.
All those energy drinks and stuff, that's got to be
super dead.
Oh, yeah.
Dan loves Thailand. He's fucking dead. He's drinking stuff that's illegal in most places of the world. He's doing stuff that's illegal in most places. He's dead.
They have ingredients that aren't even allowed across the border.
Yeah, you can't even have this anywhere else. Thailand's like the only place for some of these. What's that, M150s or whatever they call them?
Yeah.
M150s, like the gear?
M150 Storm.
Is that like the steroids?
No,
it's like some super taurine, caffeine drink.
They have the OG Red Bull, like the OG.
Oh, like the syrupy one, like the
Yeah,
thick?
you drink it, and
that's
you
the
actually,
original Red Bull.
I feel my heart palpitate and my body vibrate.
That's what when we first got them. That's what it was like. I remember when I was a little busboy.
Yeah,
at
that's the
Dave's
original-
Bar,
that's
I
the-
used to have to stock their little glass bottles.
Yeah, that's the original. Red Bull comes from Thailand. Like it is original. That's the original thing. But like was a Swedish guy got the recipe and then like Western, like he Westernized it basically. Thought about putting carbonation and then
billionaire.
Yeah.
The syrup was the good shit.
And now they have
the syrup, dude. You would have dreams. You would leave this.
Tricks off the back of trains and stuff.
You would leave this plane of
How would you
existence.
sleep on that shit?
You didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Your
That's
eyes
what I mean. You
closed and
said
your
dream.
brain left your body.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Yeah, it was fucking wild, that stuff. They do they still have it?
What?
Like the original,
Thai
like
style?
that blend of Red Bull?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just on 7-Eleven. Like that's they don't even the Western one's hard to find. Like they have all they have is like the original. They don't even have sugar.
You can go in Thailand and you just go to the pharmacy and you can get like whatever pill you want almost.
Amphetamines, whatever.
Anything,
I know.
dude.
Pretty much.
I remember we were at Byron's bachelor party and we've been drinking. We went on a boat at like 9 a.m. We've been drinking all day. Now it's like 6 p.m. Everyone's crashing out, blacked out, drunk. One guy goes to the pharmacy. He comes back. He's like, everyone take one of these. We're like, what is it? He's like, it doesn't matter. It was Ritalin. He gave us all Ritalin. And all of a sudden I'm fucking methed out. I was like, dude, we all fucking fired back
it's
up.
like a scene from what's that movie with Bradley Cooper?
Limitless.
Fucking Limitless. His fever's just dilating. He's like, holy fuck, I figured it out.
The bachelor party was like everyone's like hammered drunk, can barely stand up. We're like passed out on the tables outside, and this guy comes back. He's like, take these. And within like 20 minutes, everyone's just like,
You're all in suits giving real estate advice at the bar.
and then it got to the point where I had these in my pocket and I was eating them like Tic Tacs, and I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Seriously?
Oh, dude, it was
Jesus
the worst.
Christ.
I had the worst headache I've ever
That is
had. I was like, what am I
horrifying.
doing with myself? It's insane. I don't know how
go to bed.
Byron.
What am I doing with myself?
I don't know how Byron made his wedding, to be honest. I thought it was good. Almost would have been a hangover situation. Like we almost lost him.
Jesus.
We actually called, I think we ended up calling his auntie or something, but you gotta come get Byron. Because his wedding was like, wasn't the next day, but it was like 10 a.m. the day after. And we're like, we gotta get Byron out of here. And then from there, it just devolved into madness. And that's where my memory stops. And I'm not sure what happened.
It's where the Ritalin took over.
That's where the Ritalin took over and I became a different person. And we give that to kids who can't sit still. I don't know how that works. Because it affects some people different, I guess, but never again. It's a one and done. It's like salvia.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. I'm telling you right now, if we went anywhere,
Trying to score
any kind of trip,
Ritalin.
and I was like, and you're feeling a little bit rough, I was like, I got some Ritalin. You'd be like, whoop. 100%, dude. I know you too well.
Back to the
one
Tic
and
Tacs.
done. There's no fucking way. You'd
It
be
was
like,
fun. I'm not going to lie. It was fun. It was a
you'd
fun
be
time.
like, I'll do it. I'd do it.
No wonder there's all these meth heads on the streets. They're having a great time.
So whips out like
Ritalin
a Pez
times
dispenser,
thousands.
like,
what they're
Well, that's
on.
what I mean. And that's why they all have jobs. That's why they're all frantically on fucking adventures, side quests, and like sweeping shit.
They're all in their own side quests.
Yeah,
just
they're
having
all in
a
their own
great
side
time.
quests. Yeah, it's crazy.
Evan B in the chat asked, did y'all see the Alien in the Hood video?
Alien in the Hood?
Attack
I have
on the
no
Block.
idea.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't
Alien
know.
in the Hood video.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is he the alien wearing a hood, or he's like in
Okay,
the
I'm going
hood?
to Alien. Should I put in
Make sure you
the
say
hood?
duh hood. Like
Duh
DA,
The hood, yeah. And put a Z on the end of aliens.
Aliens.
That's actually a movie, Aliens in the Hood, 2023.
Maybe that's what
Oh,
I
is
was
it a
asking.
movie? I've never seen it. No. What's the IMDb rating? Probably not high.
1.6 out of 10.
Ooh, worth it.
That's good. If he's saying someone saying I grew up with it, it made me a zombie with low emotional response, kind of like a drone in school for Ritalin.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. To me, it did not do that.
It
It affects people different, I guess.
turned you into the second coming of Party Jesus. That's what it did.
100%. Party Jesus is what I was.
Resurrected you from the dead.
It was. You felt that. Like you just.
And then you partied for 3 days. He has risen.
8 hours of fun and 3 days of pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you want. Just go
Is
there
that
and get it.
legendary? Was that legendary hangover like top one? Coming down from that?
It was a different type of hangover in the sense that like my mind was
Your
mush.
brain was bleeding.
Yeah, fucking dude.
You were
The
fucking
worst-
getting ripped on like amphetamines for
Yeah,
how
dude.
many days?
I was a fucking meth head there
You're
for
a
3
junkie,
days.
man.
Well, it was for one night, but it lasted 3 days.
Yeah.
So that
We
happens.
did
Don't do that.
You did 3 days worth of doses in 24 hours. That'll happen.
I was cheersing people Ritalin at one point. I would give people them and be like, boop. Stupid. Fun.
Yeah.
One night. It was a
Yeah.
great bachelor party. Great time. I don't know how Byron survived, but he did. He got married. Still married.
I feel like I would die now if I partied that hard.
Yeah, your heart would
Like that would be
explode.
it for me.
Yeah.
Like that'd be it for me. There'd be no recovery from the hangover.
That wasn't that long ago. It was 31.
Dude, it changes.
That's
I'm
fucking
telling
long
you.
time
I
ago.
guess, yeah,
Right?
I'm past prime now.
Yeah,
It's over.
Prime partying. Like I'm telling you right now, like if we
Crushing tall boys right now.
I'm telling you right now that like in the height of partying, I have drinking a whole 2-6 in a night.
Easy.
And if I were to do
Dude,
that now,
more than that.
yeah, if I were to do that now, I would die. I'm
Dude,
telling
there was
you
a
right
time
now, I
that we would
die.
drink a 2-6 each and then go to the bar.
It's because a portion of your life force is now invested
That's
Yeah.
fucking
in your
madness.
offspring.
And that
Yeah,
was like
that's
not
right.
that was just like a normal thing.
I don't even think I've ever in my entire life been able to drink so much as a fucking Mickey.
Dude, drink a
on my
2-6
own.
like Captain Morgan's
There's
rum
no
and
way.
then go to the
Ooh.
bar.
No way.
Dude, and it didn't help that we lived with like an actual alcoholic.
Severe.
So and we didn't know it at the time. So we're like, yeah, I guess this is
We can
normal.
keep
Party up.
Fun time.
But yeah,
crazy.
I would die. If I did that tonight, like I drank a 2-6, I would die.
I had more than 4 drinks, I'd probably be fucking annihilated.
I've had so
over for
for
me.
context, I've had the same 2-6 of whiskey for like 6 months.
Is that the one I sipped on to you?
I still
Your
got it. I got a
sickness
little
whiskey?
It's medicine.
Yeah, it's prescription.
It's the cheap label, the cheap red label, Johnny Walker. Cheap stuff. Because that's all I can afford.
It's medicinal.
Yeah, that's I've had that for 6 months and I still have 1/5 the bottle. I wake up. Hangovers are bad now though. Because you can't sleep. That's the problem. No matter what, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock every day. 7 days a week.
Dude, with kids too? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
I couldn't
No.
imagine.
Every once in a while, 'cause I still playing at the bar with the band, I'll go and have 6, 8, 10 beers. And then just have
6,
the
8, 10.
worst Saturday you've ever had.
Yeah, I bet.
Steph lets me sleep in sometimes till 7, 7:30. But it doesn't matter. I need to sleep till 11, 12 o'clock. And I just wake up.
12 o'clock.
I would need
Holy.
to recover.
I work
fully.
nights, and I don't think I've ever slept until 12.
No, I know. Of course. But if I wanted to fully recover, I would need till 11.
Oh, you would
12.
have to.
I would
You would
need to
have
sleep till 11. or
Oh, you're
12.
not. I thought you said
that's
you
just
do.
what
Oh,
you
no.
do.
She lets me
I
sleep
was
till
gonna be-
7.
I was going to be like,
7:30.
you spoiled motherfucker. Sleeping till noon.
You kidding me?
I was like, holy
Usually
fuck.
she-
I would go out drinking if that allowed me to sleep until
100%.
noon. Are you kidding me?
I
Usually
wake up earlier.
she comes in
when
with
I
the
drink
kids
now.
at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then just like, here you go. And then she does her own thing. And now I'm way too hungover to parent, but I have to. So you fight through it. But
I just like when I go out drinking, it's like I wake up earlier. Like in the morning.
Oh,
after,
you
you
do
like, I
sleep
wake up
like
earlier.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning with a beat-ass red face. You know, like with like 108
With
degree
a fucking
fever, it feels
bubble
like.
gut. You got to
No,
run.
it's
to the
like
bathroom.
I wake up at like 6:30. It's like must hydrate.
Oh, yeah.
Like just start chugging water.
Oscar Ramirez says, thoughts on the viral video of the missile fired at the UFO in China. Well, it's not a viral video. That was fucking presented at the
Yeah,
congressional
that was a
UFO
congressional
hearing.
Yeah,
I mean, reports are that they fired. Well, listen, it's crazy to me. First off, that they're just like, all right, we don't know what this is. Hellfire missile, and then not this. It fucking takes. It doesn't. People were like, yeah, fucking nothing happened. I was like, something does happen because the object, whatever it is, the Hellfire missile just bounces off. The object kind of fucking either spins weird after or it flies weird, but it's still in the air. Like it's still totally fine. I don't know how. I would imagine that a Hellfire missile is pretty capable at destroying or incapacitating most vehicles that we know of on Earth.
Yeah. They don't call
Like
it a Hellfire
tanks.
missile for nothing.
Yeah, like it sounds like you don't give that name to like a fucking shitty missile. You're like, this is a Hellfire missile. You're like, what does it do? You're like, it's just for show. It's firework, basically. No, like this thing is fucking dummies, tanks, dummies, airplanes, whatever. And this thing just fucking ricochets off it like nothing.
Okay, so I'm watching the video. So it doesn't actually explode when it hits it?
No, it just kind of bounces off.
It just kind of like, it just kind of bounces off. Like it doesn't detonate like it's supposed to, but it's just
what they're locked on from above on some like surveillance aircraft or something, right? And then they can see, so they hit it and it kind of just spins. Something breaks off of it though.
Yeah, it does. Like you see something come off, but that could be the Hellfire missile too.
Could be parts of the missile or something. Yeah.
So I'm not overly familiar with how missiles detonate, but usually when they explode upon impact.
It's not like on impact, but it's like a proximity thing. Like with some of them are just like
that's just movies, Zell. It's just fucking. There's no explosion. It's just a fucking hard punch.
Am I missing something here?
It's like bludgeoning.
It's just bludgeon.
Why did it just bounce off?
Big Hollywood's got you fooled.
I guess so.
It's a battering ram.
It's just a giant fucking metal tube.
So wait, it didn't anticipate it was going to hit, so it just didn't explode.
Well, Hellfire missiles are originally intended for ground targets. It's like a ground to air missile. So it's not exactly. Not sure why they would be firing a Hellfire missile at an air target to intercept an air target. That's
AGM 114 Hellfire.
Yeah, air to ground missile.
Anti-armor use.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So air to ground target, high valuable targets, a Hellborn laser, fire and forget missile. Okay.
Fire and forget? That's what it says?
Yeah, fire and forget.
So then why didn't it explode?
I guess it can be used for slow moving targets, like slow moving air targets, maybe like a helicopter or like a drone that are like probably like maintain like a normal speed, but not like fast movers. Like you wouldn't want to use that. Probably not the ideal ordnance that you'd want to use.
It has also been used for surface to surface and surface to air. So it's a multi-purpose, but primarily launched from the MQ-1 Predator, MQ-9 Reaper drones. So says the internet.
Yeah. So the drones or the Reaper drones are they're known for carrying those. So it's just weird. Like that target is being like it would be either it's a drone firing on another drone, but it would have to be slow and kind of like it wouldn't be going very fast.
So
I suppose.
Laser guided, with one variant being the AGM 114L or longbow Hellfire being radar guided. So mainly laser guided. So if you got a laser lock, you should hit. So whatever this is, deflected, didn't explode.
Well, then I wonder if that craft, whatever it is utilizing some sort of like defensive technology that just like incapacitates the missile as it comes. So just like then it just like physically hits it and just fucking bounces off.
Just renders the missile
like
So no, it doesn't explode. It just kind of like the fins ricochet off of it, and that's what you see, like those three pieces that fall off.
Because I'm like, I mean, it is an interesting video in the context of like, is this alien tech? Like,
am I going to get fucking busted if I play this?
But also that we're firing at these things. Like, to be honest, I'm like, if that's like a UFO, like these are acts of war. If they were firing, you know what I mean? Like,
what are we firing on? Yeah, what's the context of the video?
It's just Reaper fighting on something. Like I think it is being fired from a Reaper drone, and then it's like, I don't know. It does kind of look like if it were like I could see this also just being like a balloon because it just goes through. It would just like go, not necessarily that it hits it. It just goes through, and this thing just kind of because it looks like it's slowly tumbling, like as the orientation is changing.
That they've been sending in. Like we shot a few of those down a few years ago, didn't we?
Spy balloons,
different type of one, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't. If it did hit something soft, I'm saying if it hit something like a soft target, like it wouldn't explode. Like it wouldn't.
But why wouldn't they come out? Why wouldn't they come out and be like, "That's a fucking balloon," and we did destroy it?
That's a fast moving balloon, then, though, because they're locked on and you can see it moving, right? So how fast is it going? Does it say that on the?
Well, the Hellfire only goes 1.3. Like that's the fact.
Mach
That's slow.
1.3?
It's slow as far as missiles go. Like it's. I think it's
walking
maximum
speed.
I said as missiles go. Thank you. I qualified it.
1.3. Yeah. So this thing is moving. It's not a balloon. It's moving fast. It's not just slowly floating, because whatever's above it, you can see it's like it's strafing across. It doesn't say how fast on the display though. It doesn't say how fast it's moving. Maybe it's cut off or something. But yeah, just fucking kind of just bing, bounces off, knocks it, does a couple twirls. Because a Hellfire missile, internet says it's not big, right? It's only 100.
Yeah, I think you can fire
kilograms.
I think you can fire them from surface. Like
it's 100 to 108 pounds, so it's only 1.6 meters long. It's not a huge missile. So
no, because it can be carried on the drones. So
yeah,
it's like can't be that big.
So whatever it hits is not big, but it doesn't explode. So weird. That's a weird one. And presented at the conference, like the congressional hearing.
Knapp?
Right?
Was it Knapp who presented it?
Our good buddy Knapp.
Was it Berlin's? Was it Berlin's?
I couldn't remember. Knapp was there. I just couldn't remember who presented it.
I think.
But it's like, to be honest, I'm like, if it's like, I guess we don't know what goes on in the skiffs in the back, but like, you think they would be like,
it's in Yemen, not China. Why does it say? Why did our video say China? It says it's in Yemen on October 30th, 2024, last year.
Yeah.
No, they were saying that the target was like near Yemen, like that's where it was, because this was when they were getting uppity over there. Kind of, it's like stuff was going on, but they had they had aircraft in that area surveying that area, and this is apparently one of the encounters that they had. The whole of it looking that it's going fast. I mean, that could be just camera effect, because it sometimes does, like stuff looks like it's going in those thermal things that like stuff looks like it's going fast. And it's not like it's.
You can see the waves. So I mean, it's not a balloon. It's not a balloon that's floating at like 5 knots or something. It's like
it's also like but the Reaper's also moving too. Like it's also like or like moving around it or something. Like it's just like
it's locked on. It looks like it's locked on at a distance above strafing, and then it just it's whatever it hits is not huge, so it doesn't blow up. That is weird.
But it does like tumble. It does
tumbles. It knocks it off balance for sure.
Like it can.
But it doesn't like crash. Like I would expect it to crash or something. You know what I mean? Like if it
or explode.
I mean, it's still falling. Like it's just like it's just
I would agree with Andrew. I would expect it to blow up.
Yeah. Yes.
It hit it. Something got hit.
Hellfire missile.
I mean, I shoot those in Call of Duty. Man, Hellfire missile inbound. Bang. They get 3 kills.
If you were like, we hit it with a rock, what I see in the video would make sense. I'd be like, oh yeah. It looks like you hit it. It hit it with a knock, and fucking the balloon tumbles a little. But I'm like, when you in the context of like, no, that was a Hellfire. Fucking fire and forget. That's what they say. Fire
laser
and forget.
Locked missile, laser guided missile. Lock on. Shoot the missile. Forget about it. Blows up.
Yeah, and you're like, except this time, where it doesn't.
After that, just kind of bounced off.
But to me, I'm like, it is a little freaky that we're firing at these things, and I guess like at some point, the military is probably thinking that this is just, rival nations. But if it's not, like, you know what I mean? It's like we're shooting at extraterrestrial.
They must have thought it was another drone based on its size or something.
Totally. Yeah.
Like you're not going to lock on a missile to a craft you don't know. Well, I mean, I would hope you wouldn't, but I guess it should happen.
Well, if it's not calling back, if it's not calling us, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but you're also in fucking Yemen. Like,
yeah,
it's true.
Right?
It's true. Yeah. It's not like it's fucking.
This is a fucking rebel drone. We're just going to blow it out of the sky. Yeah. No big deal.
So it absolutely could be an act of war in any of those surrounding countries.
Yeah.
Not that they can really do anything about it, but.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You want another Hellfire?
Yeah.
You want more where that came from?
If it works as well as the fucking last one did, let's go.
Yeah, that one was a dud.
Yeah, it's not a really good show of force for that one. Now I'm gonna
name like Hellfire. I mean, I want to see some. I want to see it blow up.
I want to see some Hellfire.
It looks cool. I've seen some other videos where it blows the shit out of stuff, like big time.
What if like maybe this UFO has like
Roger, give me 10 seconds. Here's like from an AC-130, like fucking plane above or something.
Yeah, but like maybe that's its defense mechanism. What maybe it can just completely enable
AGM-114 fragmentation Hellfire.
Yeah, just like as it comes in inbounds, it enters its
AB,
sphere of
but
whatever.
it doesn't know how to, like, it can take away the explosivity, but it can't slow it down. So that's why it like bangs into it still.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like it can, anything digital on it turns off.
Yeah.
Any detonator, any signal, and then it's just like bing.
You're like, fuck.
Right?
You're like getting
And that's
shot
why
with a
these-
bulletproof vest on.
Dude, I'm watching one get shot at some. It says 2 individuals. Okay to target. It goes okay to target.
And he
American Pie.
shoot 2 people
American
with,
Pie is the call sign, and it just blows up half a village.
holy fuck.
For 2 people, they're like clear.
Oops.
Well, I mean it went boom. So they do go boom, I guess. It's not
That's
just
what happens when you're controlling things with like Xbox controllers. You're just like,
Dude.
yeah, am I good to go?
just so removed from the consequences of
Got a
what you're
kill
doing.
streak going. Got to keep playing.
7 kill streak, calling the fucking hellfire.
American
Or is it
Pie,
five? Is it
baby.
5 kill? I think it might be 5 kill. I can't remember. That was back in the day when I played Modern Warfare 2. I think it was Hellfire Missile. 5 kill streak. Then you got a Harrier jet,
Yeah.
and then you got the chopper gunner at 11 kills, and then you get a nuke at 25. Good times.
I never got that many kills in a row. Ever.
I only got a couple nukes, maybe two ever.
Me and Andrew have maybe combined history 2 kills on fucking, what's that game we played, Andrew?
PUBG.
No.
Oh
fucking,
no! Yeah,
Hunt.
Hunt. Fuck that.
Hunt Showdown.
Yeah.
We've probably collectively hours and hours played together, and collectively 2 kills
And you got them both.
by
Yeah,
accident.
but you're the distraction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was.
Running
He
around
was.
screaming the whole time.
It's an important.
Trapped
That's
in
an
a corner.
important role, actually.
I'd always hide outside
I-
and let Braden fight the monsters.
I had to wrap this one up, boys.
Yeah, no one called in. We're at 45 on the Hinged here, which is our
Sorry.
pretty much our new after hours. We
Hey.
talk shit about whatever we want.